Now, I could be a very high-end developer and it will take me 5 seconds but my thinking is that not everyone is able to do so or has the time to do so, especially when the error, the fix, the enhancement is just a string of text. It's nothing to do with major functionalities or complex features. Maybe you take a look at the settings, for example, the general tab of the WooCommerce settings. You see the store address has a sort of a sub headline, sort of a description. This is where your business is located. Tax rates and shipping rates will use this address. On the same page, the currency option have a sub headline as well. And on the same page, the general options, which to me are the most important options of that page, there is no description. It would be nice if this said, from here you can manage, enable, disable, and limit your billing, shipping, tax, and coupon settings. I mean, that will make such a big difference. And it's not a breaking change or something that need testing. I just need to add a line of code into the WooCommerce settings, whatever PHP file, and that's it. That's done. So I want to teach you today what I learned by basically researching online, and if there were an easier way to submit a pull request so that in 1 second WooCommerce can do their own tests, approve it, and launch it. So there is no extra steps for them to having to go through the issue, generate the PR themselves, approve it, and then eventually, ship it. So my goal is therefore to add a description to these general options heading on the general tab of the WooCommerce settings. All right, so what do I do? First of all, I go onto WooCommerce GitHub page where we will find the WooCommerce plugin. Here it is. So it's github.com/WooCommerce/WooCommerce. Now, I have to go look for my section. So what do? I would just go look for store address because I want to see how they coded it. So I'm just going here and paste my string, run the search, and I should find that the store address is present into 434 files. But I wanted something more specific. So I want to search exactly for the store address string. So let's try to put it in between quotes. Yes, and now I only have 21 files. So as you can see here, that's a comment, that's a description, that's some kind of string again, that's a comment. Okay, that's an email editor, so it doesn't really work. That's a comment. Store address fields, and this contains the title of store address. So I'm going to try to expand this section here by clicking on it, and it should open the WooCommerce plugins. WooCommerce includes admin settings, class WC settings, general, which kind of makes sense with what we've seen in the backend earlier on. So as you can see here, there is a title which goes by the name of store address, and then a description. This is where your business is located, tax rate and shipping rates, blah, blah, blah. Use this address. So if I scroll down at some stage, I should also find the general options section. And here it is with the title, and here it is. There is no description whatsoever. That will make such a big difference. So what am I going to do? I hit dot on my keyword. This will set up my online web editor. This is called github.dev. It will open that exact file in a basically VS Code display. And what I can do here is remembering that I was looking for a store address string. And here it is. Let me close the Explorer so it's a little bit bigger. Right, so this was the store address line. And if I keep scrolling down, I will find the general options title. And here is where I want to live edit my string in this case. It's not code, it's nothing major, it's just a description of a setting. So in here, I might want to describe what what this section is about. So first of all, let's make it translatable. So I'm just going to copy here and of course close it, and that's it. So at the moment is translatable. Then I want to describe what this option is about. So I can just go onto ChatGPT and say I want to add a description to the general, what is it called? To the general options section of the WooCommerce settings. From here, you can limit billing countries, enable, disable, or limit shipping, define the customer default location, toggle taxes, and coupons. Give me 20-30 words to describe this. For example, WooCommerce uses, and let me paste the description that they use for the currency options. So this for the currency options. Let's see what it gives to me. Okay. The settings control store-wide options such as allowed billing countries, shipping availability, customer location, and whether to enable taxes and coupons at checkout. I mean, that's not entirely correct because coupons are in the cart as well. Taxes, I mean, you would see taxes on the product page as well. So this thing about the checkout is not valid. Shipping availability is not the right keyword. So let's paste this into GitHub Dev here in the description. Let's try to rephrase it. Now, let me enable the view wrap. So we see the full description and I can close it here. All right, so these settings control store-wide options such as allowed billing countries, shipping, billing country, billing and shipping countries, default customer location, and whether to enable taxes and coupons. And that's sufficient to me. Okay. So I don't think we need to say these settings. So let's just say control. Store-wide options such as allowed billing and shipping countries, default customer location, and whether to enable taxes and coupons. I think that's might make sense. I mean, I'm not a non-native, so I'm sure that WooCommerce can double check that when I submit the PR. Now, at this stage, I have done my basically live change. All I have to do now is to save this in some way and turn it into a pull request. As you can see here on the left-hand side, in the source control tab, there is a 1, which means that there is a 1 pending change to the WooCommerce plugin. So what you want to do is basically to enter a message to describe what we've just done. So we would say this is a enhancement for the Woo settings. So added it the desk value for the general options section. Perfect. Now, at this stage, I have described my change, my edit, and now what I can do is basically to click on commit and push. So I'm going to click on this. And as you can see now, WooCommerce doesn't allow me to change the actual WooCommerce plugin on GitHub. It will ask me to create a branch, right? So this is basically a parallel branch of the WooCommerce plugin where I've added my change. Then if WooCommerce decides that it is a good change, they will include it into core. If not, it will stay separate. They can delete it, they can edit it until it's ready to be included. So you can give it possibly a descriptive name. So request to add desk to the general option settings. All right. So press enter to confirm. So I pressed enter. Now it's telling me that it has just committed the changes to my fork of WooCommerce. Do I want to switch to my fork to continue changes? I can switch to fork. And in this way, it will automatically go onto, as you can see, the URL has changed. GitHub.dev, business bloomer, WooCommerce 3 request to add desk to the general option settings. So it just cloned the repo, created a new branch, added my edit to that branch, and now the very last step that I need to take is to turn this branch into a pull request. So you go on again to source control tab here, and you should find a button, which is this one, which says create pull request. So I'm going to click on it, and it should automatically generate all the information that I need. So as you can see, it's pre-populated with the review guidelines. I followed the guidelines. I've checked that there are other open pull requests for the same change. I reviewed my code, which wasn't code, it was just a string. Following the above guidelines would result in quick merges and clear detailed feedback when appropriate. Blah, blah, blah. And it's telling me which file has changed and which commit it contains. So at this stage, I am ready to go. And all I have to click on is the create button. So I'm going to click here, and now it's generating my pull request. And at this stage, if I go onto, once again, the WooCommerce GitHub page, and I go on to pull request, I should be able to see mine. Perfect. Here it is. So enhancement for the Woo settings added the description value for the general options sections. Opened by myself, review required. So at this stage, it will be assigned to someone, and they will take a look at my review guidelines. I'm sure this doc is not really complete, but it will explain what it is. If you click on this commit, you should see the code changes that we just did. Perfect. So in green, the line that we changed, and in red, how it was before. So in green, I've added control store-wide options such as allowed billing and shipping countries, default customer location, and whether to enable taxes and coupons. So this is the commit. It belongs to this PR that I just submitted. Probably I had to either delete some of these information in the PR template, or I had to complete them by adding more, I don't know, screenshots or, steps, how to test it, and so on. But I think it's pretty straightforward. It's just a string of text. And I want to see how this, accepted or not by the WooCommerce team. So in, what is it? 10 minutes of just show you that actually contributing to the WooCommerce plugin is, it's not that difficult, especially when you have super simple fixes such as, adding a sub headline, or, rewording something, or, adding something that doesn't break functionality. Of course, if you were to add complex PHP or, JS, React, whatever it is, then you wouldn't be here watching this video, because you'd be super familiar with, forking, developing local, creating the pull request and following it by its, standards. What we've seen today, it's a simplified way of helping WooCommerce without complicating, your life. And it's only with the help of everyone, high-end developers, junior developers, non-developers, that the WooCommerce plugin can move forward.